Hey, this PoeticWhiz. I think so. It's almost been a year for Apple Vision Pro and Apple Watch for that matter. And I really want to combine these two products in one video. There's mainly because there's so much going on with these two products with Apple personally and how I see the future with these two products basically. In one hand, the Vision Pro is something I feel will not last longer. Whereas the Apple Watch Ultra, I see there is a future for it regardless of how expensive it is or how it is catered to a different whole audience of a niche or whatever. People who can spend that much or a lot of money on the Apple Watch Ultra. But at the same time, I feel there's a good takeaway of like how I see the Apple Watch Ultra, irrespective of how expensive it is or how it's all built around how Apple has a vision of Apple Watch Ultra. I will first of all talk about Apple Watch Ultra and then about the Apple Vision Pro because talking about Apple Watch Ultra, the key thing is I really like the design, the big screen, the body weight. I mean when I say body weight, it looks chunky, it looks bulky and all the stuff. But as soon as you wear the Apple Watch Ultra in your hand, things certainly change. The reason why I'm saying this is because personally when I first saw the Apple Watch Ultra, I felt okay, this is going to be way too big and it's not going to look nice personally while wearing it. But I must admit that my whole perspective changed once I wore the Apple Watch Ultra. So yeah, I might have worn for a bit, like 30 to 20 minutes odd, but as soon as I wore the Apple Watch Ultra, I felt like this is what Apple had done it right, and I really feel looking forward to this weight distribution, what I say with the Apple Watch Ultra, to come to the iPhone Pro models or any other iPhone for that matter, because that's one thing I really love about Apple Watch, the way it's built and way how it feels. It's like an illusion almost. It feels like when you look at from far, it looks like bulky, it looks thick and all the stuff. But personally, when you hold it or when you wear it, the perspective completely changes. As for it has a longer battery life, a bigger screen and all that. Yeah, that's nice. But personally, as for the price, I know it's too expensive. Another thing is, when I say I love the build, is because how light it feels. It almost feels like it's not a Apple Watch Ultra at all. It almost feels like less bulky. It almost feels like you can wear this Apple Watch Ultra all day long without feeling uncomfortable or you're feeling like, okay, no, this is not for me and all the stuff. As for the screen display, I feel the screen display is really nice. I feel the size is perfect for anyone, regardless if you're having, no matter what size you're going for. I feel the size, what Apple has gone with, the Apple Watch Ultra is great. Even if I have to take in comparison with the regular Apple Watch, let's be the Apple Watch SE or the Apple Watch Series 9, I would be more inclined to the Apple Watch Ultra because of its weight distribution, its size, and overall how it feels. As for the color options, yes, coming to the color options, I know this is my personal opinion. I really love the gold and orange finish compared to the all matte black, what you say it. Apple had introduced with the second generation, I feel, with the Apple Watch Ultra. I personally did not like that color, and I still this day I prefer the original color, the gold and orange. It goes well. I feel it has its own elegance, its own luxury, its own. It has a more classic look. I feel altogether. And yes, if Apple could replicate this design or the finish, what I would personally feel, what Apple Watch Ultra has to the iPhone or to the iPads. I'm not sure why I'm saying that, but overall, this whole design material, what has been used on Apple Watch Ultra, to see on other Apple products, it would be great. I feel. I don't know why. Back of my head, I feel still that to this day, but I feel that should be like Apple should see if they can make this design, I mean this, the material or whatever being used, mean available to all its Apple products, and I feel it will be great, especially in the longevity side of things. I feel if I had to take a great comparison, I would say like you hold the iPhone 13 Pro or 14 for that matter with the Apple Watch Ultra, you can instantly see the difference, and you feel okay. The iPhone 15 Pro is not for me, and sorry, the iPhone 13 Pro is not for me, where Apple Watch Ultra is for me. That's how I would distinguish you with the weight, and how I see the weight distribution is along these two different whole products. And if Apple could bring that into its Apple Watch lineup, it would be great. I mean, to its regular Apple Watch this thing series. Let it be iPhone S, or let it be the Apple Watch SE series, or the upcoming whatever Apple Watch it is, the flagship Apple Watch that's coming later in 2025. It's like this is Apple Watch Ultra is one product where if I have to take the price away, everything feels really great, and I really don't have much complaint. I feel personally, even though I've not used it for a very longer duration, I still feel this is one product I personally feel the hype and the reality is totally different, but at the same time, it's not too like it's not too overhyped or not too like will not last or something like that. Well, like now, if I come to the Apple Vision Pro, I feel that is just Apple way of doing things, like trying to get the AR glasses or the AR vision or whatever with the Apple Pro Vision. I feel that will not last long for no matter. I'm not just saying this for Apple Pro Vision, but irrespective of any other tech giant who want to venture into this whole Apple Vision or Apple AI, whatever this vision thing. The same concept of what Apple Vision Pro has to offer, if same is being implemented by other tech giants, I feel there would be a downfall instantly, and I don't see there is a major growth in that aspect of tech. I feel people might be raving about, okay, it's great, this, that, but at the end of the how many people are going to use it, how many people are going to able to afford it. Okay, if we take apart the affording side and all the stuff, it's only very niche people who are going to use it, or the ones who are able to afford it. But I don't really see the future with the Vision Pro. But I do appreciate Apple taking time with it, spending a lot of money and all the stuff. But they have made the design feel like, how to tell you, like they know how it can be versatile or how it can be used for different people with different whatever face or whatever. I'll write it down or in the screen whatever what I'm trying to really say. But Apple has really done that detailing very nicely, and I feel that should be really appreciated. But I don't see that anytime sooner that Vision, uh, Apple Vision Pro would make a big leap in the tech space or anything. Yes, to give you a better understanding of what I'm really trying to tell you is when Samsung launched the Samsung Flip, everyone was like, okay, we are going back to the 90s, the flip phone era. But personally, for me, that was a great move done by Samsung. To this day, I feel Samsung Z Flip is my favorite phone compared to the foldables. Z Flip is still my that I feel it has that retro feel, that 90s classic. Who has, who has been in the 90s to the early 2000s will know what I'm really trying to say. And I really like that what Samsung had done. I see initially when Samsung had bought back the folding phones or the Z Flip or whatever, everyone was like, no, it's not going to work out, this, that. Because due to its price and how things are more fragile with its product. I mean, the product is fragile, basically, to an extent. But if you look at it, the price has come down. The product, many tech giants have done their own version of the flip phones and foldables and all the stuff. But I feel that is like a classic tech tech that's coming back in style and fashion or whatever, and make a big leap, I feel, in the tech space. And I would say the great example for this is someone like Michael Fisher. Fisher, who is someone who's into foldables and someone who has really not into the whole, I mean, touchscreen and all the stuff. But yeah, personally, I just wanted to give him as an example because he's someone who's into that space. I'm not saying I'm into the flip phones much, but I personally like how it's been implemented. And I feel Samsung and Motorola have done great with it. What do you say? Foldables and foldables and whatever. Flip phones, basically. But the same thing, if I take with the same mindset with the Apple Vision Pro, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Because there are people saying, okay, it's great and all the stuff. Even if I have to read the price aside, still I feel this is not something people should go and buy it now or in the future, or I don't see it being anything that could long last. The reason I'm saying is because one thing I'll tell you, to be very frank, when I think so Google glasses or something, I feel that product was great. It was futuristic, it had everything it has to offer, and it was better. It had the functionality, it had the way like everyone can use it without it being bulky, without it being like okay, okay, this is what the future holds or whatever. But at the same time, if you look at Google perspective or Google how thought about it, the Google glasses, I still feel to this day that thing should have been continued regardless of how people see it now. I'm not saying many other tech giants have started to do that, but I feel Google did it the right way. And sometimes I feel Google might not be strong in its product lineup, but with its software lineup. But when Google does a product, I feel they really understand the consumer needs and what the consumer is looking for than just making a product just because to lean into that venture or get in the product lineup or things. When that is not what Google is here for, but when they do it really great. Let it be the Pixel lineup, from the Pixel phone to Pixel tablets or any other thing to do the Pixel ecosystem. I feel Google has done it great. I might not be in favor all Pixel phones. I mean the Pixel product or the Pixel ecosystem, but I do really appreciate what Google has done with its product lineup, regardless how things might seem. It's like that one thing what OnePlus did initially, but now what Google is doing it better. And personally, for me, I don't have anything against OnePlus, but I feel that OnePlus having its own downfall, regardless of how you see OnePlus today and how you see OnePlus when it was in its inception. I feel. And yeah, I feel to this day, these two products by Apple, by its own, may seem good, but what the future hold, I feel it's the Apple Watch Ultra over the Apple Vision Pro. Even if Apple sees a way to cross-cut the product or have a reasonable budget for it, I don't feel you still need to go and buy it, because I don't see a future with it. Regardless of Apple sees, okay, here's the future, the next future, or the next tech leap, yeah, moving forward. I have nothing against Apple doing what they do the best, but this is just my personal opinion, my personal perspective of how I see these two products being drastically different. At the same time, how it might long last in the next 5 to 10 years, and how things might drastically change with these two products lineup as a whole. And yeah, do let me know how do you feel about these two products. Do let me know in the comment section below. Do you own an Apple Watch Ultra, or what's your take on the Apple Vision Pro? Till then, this is your PoeticWhiz. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Live your dreams.